love me. You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. I take shots to the top, I'll get it. I got one life, I'ma do form of art. I'm never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys, welcome. September 28th. Welcome back. Late night chat. Sorry for it being so late, but hopefully you have cracked open your first beer, glass of wine, shot of whiskey, what have you. We just got back from watching a movie. We watched Wild Robot. We have 2 movies scheduled for tomorrow. It is the end of Q3. September 30th, Monday, is the last day. We're going to talk about the box office. We're going to talk about some speculative stocks today. We'll talk about some blue chip stocks too, if you want. I'm mostly a blue chip and value investor. And so speculative stocks, I love playing them because it makes the day-to-day interesting, but they are the smallest portion of my portfolio. So I'm happy to talk about whichever ones you guys like. The speculative ones always get the most engagement. That's our excitement for the week. And we get our highest returns on those. So that's why we talk about those the most. We'll talk about box office. We'll talk about the James Janney video. We can talk about the Michael Pachter interview, 2 James Janney videos. And let's see what else happened this week. Seems like there's something else. We'll probably think of it. Let's go over whatever trades we did this week. So without further ado, let me bring in our esteemed guest for this evening. There he is, the monkey tamer himself, Mediocre. What's going on?
What's up, Paisan?
You've been rubbing a couple pennies together there, Mediocre?
Oh, always. You know me. Nickels, dimes, quarters, pennies. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Nickels, dimes, quarters, they add up to $10,000 real quick, don't they, Mediocre?
Yes, they do. Hey, careful. Why? You're not allowed to say that. People are gonna get offended.
Yeah, don't get upset. Don't get upset if he's over there trading stocks making $10,000 in a week and you're busy holding something. Anyways, Mediocre, what's new this weekend? Are you planning to see any movies at AMC? Because we're at the end of the quarter, but I know also that there's not one close to you. So
I mean,
you went to see one recently, right? In the last couple of weeks.
I did. I went and seen Beetlejuice with the wife. She loves that movie. That was a good movie. I liked it. She didn't like it as much, but I liked it. But
I heard she doesn't like musicals.
Yeah, she doesn't really care for musicals. Interesting, huh?
Let's start off talking about our first speculative play, AMC. Mediocre, can I be clear here?
Absolutely.
AMC is a speculative play.
I agree.
Is it the best stock out there in the whole universe of stocks, Mediocre?
Well, not for me. I don't think any stock is great.
Exactly. There's no one stock. Guys, if your narrative is that you only invest in one stock, I foresee a bad future for you. And especially if your narrative is, I only buy one stock and I'm never going to sell it. Guys, how are you going to get ahead? So, as always on this channel, we the way I trade, I can't say I recommend anything, but I'm going to tell you how I trade. Mediocre trades different than I do. I have my portfolio loaded up with blue chip stocks that I either like for the next 5 years, or they got beaten down and I still like them for the next 5 years. And I have a few mid-grade stocks, and I have a small portion of my portfolio allocated for meme stocks, short squeezes, speculative plays, day trades, the fun stuff, the stuff that we wake up for every day. The other stuff, I don't even check my blue chips. I might check them once a week because they're 5-year plays. Sometimes I get lucky and I make 20 or 30% of those. If I bought one on a beat down, I might make 20 or 30% in a couple months, but that I wouldn't promise you that that's the norm. But that's my style, mediocre. I mostly do value plays and blue chips, and I love the speculative stuff to juice the overall portfolio. Let's just to make sure everybody knows who they're talking to, tell us what your basic strategy is.
I want to say this first, but I've been around Tony for quite a while, and I've noticed this, and it's not a competition. I'm just going to say this. It's really not. But I'm not used to being the guy who doesn't get the total bottom. I mean, not that Tony gets the total bottom every time.
On the price? Where are we going with this? I don't know if you're talking.
I'm just going to say you're patient. God damn it.
Okay.
I can't believe that you, oh my God. It burns me bad. Cheers, Tony. Good
Cheers.
answer,
Hey, I missed the bottom of this week on AMC by one fucking penny. I did buy some this week, but I was disappointed that I was disappointed I missed it by a penny.
Disappointed, Jesus. I wish I got your entry.
Tell us about your style, and then we'll look, just so folks know who we're talking to here.
Some Shipyard Pumpkinhead's what I'm drinking, but
Pumpkinhead. And then we're going to look at some box office and talk about some stocks.
I don't know. I'm an options trader, number one, Tony. You know that. Like, yep. I don't care about the stock. If I end up with the stock, I end up with the stock. But it is what it is, right? I'm just trying to catch the move to the upside and capitalize on it. I'm just trying to capitalize on very good plays. And so, I use my 1348 strategy to help me, try to catch the bottom. You don't get it every single time, right? Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. And I use that, and, I use fundamentals and the financials to tell me if it's worth putting my money into, because I don't want to put my money into something that's not going to generate me income.
I think it's fair to say, though, knowing what I know about you, is you're more of a active trader. I'm more of a longer term investor.
Oh, absolutely.
Wouldn't you say that's a fair assessment?
Absolutely.
And like, even if we're entering the same plays, you may be taking more risk on in terms of your position size than I am, because I'm old, mediocre. I only got a couple years left on this earth. I got to be a good steward of my money. And if I'm rolling 100% of my investment into these risky plays, and I fuck up, or the company announces something that I wasn't anticipating, I can't afford to be wiped out at this point.
Well, Tony, not all of us could be trust fund babies,
Yes, I heard recently you're a trust fund baby. Is that true?
I heard that as well. I haven't seen the trust fund yet, but if they could guide me towards it, Tony.
But your wife calls you baby.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's put up some box office, share screen, window. We got Friday numbers now, mediocre, and I'm happy to announce that Friday came in at 26 million, which is pretty damn good. And why do I care about this? Because when we look at the quarter, we are, what is that, about $59 million away from beating last year. We got 3 days left: Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now, my estimate, as you guys know, if you've been following the channel since July, was that we were going to come in somewhere between 2.4 and 2.6 billion for this quarter. It is safe to say right now that Tony Denaro was wrong. Mediocre. I estimated too low. We're going to beat 2.6 billion. But
I'm happy for that.
I'm ecstatic. I love to be wrong on the low side. The question is now, can we beat 2023? And
I hear people are talking that that's possible, but I'm not sure it is.
I hope so. I hope it is.
I hope it is
like I
too.
said, we saw a movie today. I have 2 booked for tomorrow, and if I have time, I'll go see one on Monday. I'm doing my part, mediocre. But you know, mediocre, as a failed actor, I enjoy going to movies and reminiscing about the old days.
Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah,
You
those days on set, hobnobbing with the big stars, the craft
Hobnobbing.
services and the catering, and the $7 an hour.
$7 an hour.
Oh man. But guys, tell me in the chat, do you think we're going to beat Q3 2023? $59 million in 3 days. Can we do it? Are you doing your part?
3 days.
Tomorrow
we got numbers tomorrow, right?
Huh?
We get weekend numbers tomorrow, right?
No. Oh yeah. Sunday we'll get estimates.
Well, Sunday, Tony.
late Sunday we'll get the Saturday and Sunday estimates. So we're seeing tomorrow Transformers 1 and one with Aubrey Plaza called My Old Ass, where she takes some mushrooms as a teenager and manifests her future self, which is Aubrey Plaza. And she has a conversation with herself. Then she comes off her little trip and magically she's able to talk to herself on the phone in the future. It's a little bit of, coming of age movie. And, I know that my wife is really going to look forward to that one. She don't really care too much about Transformers 1, but she did enjoy The Wild Robot. Let's put up the chart for AMC real quick, and then we'll answer your questions about AMC and then move on to GameStop and the James Janney videos and whatever else y'all want to talk
Tony,
about.
I got a question before we move on, though.
Yeah.
I meant to ask you this question when we were talking about our trading styles.
Yeah.
What's the name of that bot that you use to trade?
My brain, my eyes.
Oh, you don't use a trading bot, Tony?
I mean, if you can read a chart, mediocre, which most of us have been doing for, at least a couple years, you probably should not need a trading bot.
I have to agree with you on that.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you have a different opinion. I don't really see what the purpose of one is, but to each his own. Hey, I will never criticize somebody that's using a trading bot in public.
I never trade with a trading bot.
All right. AMC chart. We are in these that we're trapped here. And we got this supply zone up here. You're going to see the same thing on the GameStop chart. We got the overhead supply. We got the demand zones down here in green. I have the demand zones around 430 to 440. The supply zones around 540 to 570. We've been trading in this zone since May. I was buying before May down here at the couple dollar range. I sold into this run up. I also, when I saw it starting to run, bought some call options, made over 1,000% on each strike price I had. So May was a good month.
Didn't you just do that again, Tony?
Huh?
Didn't you just do that again?
Well, we're getting to that. I'm just catching everybody up.
Okay, all right.
And then I waited for the price to come down. I saw a test, and both times it jumped. Well, this time it jumped out of there too fast for me. And then it did it again. And then the third time we retested the demand zone, I was like, I'm not missing it the next time. So I grabbed some at 420, grabbed some in September at 464, grabbed some more 465, and Friday was what 25th? What day was 25th? Whatever day the 25th was, I grabbed some at I think it was this bottom candle here, mediocre. Yeah, this red one. The low of the day was 436. I snagged some at 437. Now, would I prefer 420? Sure. But I think I speak for myself and mediocre that while this is a speculative play, because the company's still technically losing money and they have debt, they're restructuring, and there's a lawsuit. Let's be straight with everybody. Make sure nobody is mishearing what we're saying here.
Oh yeah, there's a lawsuit.
There is risk when you're trading in companies that aren't blue chip, long history of profits. This is one of our speculative trades, but we love it. We love it for the volatility and the fact that we can pretty much estimate what the income is going to be every quarter, right? Mediocre with a spreadsheet or two.
Yes.
It's a unique industry. And that's why I own other movie theater stocks too, not Cinemark. They are the devil, but I mean, it's a good trade, but I don't own it. I own some IMAX. I'm up, I think, over 30% on my IMAX this year. I just love the fact that in the movie industry, we can predict because we have daily receipts on box office. What more could you ask for?
I mean, I love that fact about it too, Tony. I mean, I think that's a very good point. It makes me feel, a little comfortable doing what I do,
The only thing I see mediocre, and now you tell me if you see something different, like if we have a market crash, if we have a nuclear war, or AMC just announces something we're not expecting out of the blue, I feel pretty good about these demand zones down here. Like I don't see it crashing back down to $2.
I don't either.
We're on the verge of announcing a profitable quarter.
Yeah. I just made a video today about what we're talking about right here. Same thing.
I don't know if you noticed, mediocre, as this last week or two of red price action, down, the social media sentiment was flying off the handle with the crybabies. It's going to $1.50. It's going bankrupt. Oh, they're for sure going to reverse split now. Maybe they will. I don't know. But all I know is I got a spreadsheet. I can look at the box office. I'm 95% sure the company is going to report a profitable quarter. And so I'm a risk on trader. My trading style might not be suitable for you. If you don't know what your trading style is or your risk profile, go talk to a professional. All right.
Tony,
but I like speculative trades, and I feel pretty good that I don't think it's going to go below these green bars without nuclear war, another COVID, a market crash would tank it, or AMC just announces something stupid. And if any of those things happen, guys, I'm out. I'm out the second I see it. How about you, mediocre?
Oh, absolutely. But I got another question for you. Not necessarily a question. I got this idea in my head, and I think this is accurate. You can fact check me on this. I'll do it live here, but I'm of the belief that if AMC is a profitable quarter and they want institutions to come back, that the stock has to trade above $5. Is that correct? As far as
to not be considered a penny stock on the NYSE?
Yeah, so that funds could enter it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Okay.
That's what they told. I mean, it is a rule. Maybe a rule is not the right word, but I mean yes, NYSE and institutions view stocks under $5 as penny stocks. They might make you sign a disclosure, and some ETFs or institutions might not be allowed to buy a stock under $5. So we'd like to see the price over $5.
So I think that heading into this earnings. I think that it's I don't want to say likely. I believe it can get there. Is what I'm trying to say.
We think mediocre. And again, I'm sorry for speaking with you. And tell me, it's just I talk to you every day, so I'm trying to save time in the chat here. We think that there's a greater when we're looking at the risk to reward ratio of what's most.
We lost Tony. I don't know where he went. So,
than risk, right?
Yeah, we lost you for a second, or I got bounced out for a second, so I didn't hear exactly what you were
I was
saying.
just saying that our viewpoint on this, although it is still a risky speculative trade, is that there is greater reward potential than risk potential at this low price level.
Absolutely. I believe that, yeah. I think that I think that the box office is improving. I believe that Q3 is going to be profitable based off of spreadsheet and math, right? The information that is readily available. If you go get the information, you compile it, it shows that it looks like Q3 is going to be profitable. And just the box office in Q4 looks like it's going to make Q4 profitable. So that tells me, okay, I think that the price can move up a bit. How much? I'm not exactly sure, but I have a number in my head. I just I think we can get between 550 and 6 easily. But what do I know?
Let's talk about some upside numbers for a minute, because I'm sure some people are curious of our thoughts. And again, we don't have crystal ball, guys. We're just we're here on the live to share with you what we talk about every day. And you can like it, not like it, agree or disagree, doesn't matter to me. We're just talking with you now like we talk every day, because I don't have time to go live every day. So I wish I did. We are hopeful that over the next 5 weeks, once everybody kind of mentally digests the box office, once the quarter is complete, that the analysts will revise their earnings estimates, all of which are negative for AMC for Q3, which I just don't see any way that we have a negative quarter based on this box office. It's not going to be massively profitable, but I don't think it's going to be negative. So my bet is, the reason I'm buying down in these low prices is my wager, because this is a speculative trade, I'm calling it a wager, is that we get a re-rating on the earnings to a positive number, and maybe that pushes the price up a little bit. I don't think that the analysts are going to change their price target. That's also my bet. They'll say, oh, well, AMC is going to make 8 cents per share, but we're keeping a $4 price target because of the risk of dilution, the uncertainty over the lawsuit from the lenders, yada, yada, yada. They'll throw whatever cover their ass thing they can into their upgrade. What are you thinking, mediocre?
No, I think you're exactly right. I think that there's still time before that money is due in 2026, so they have time to come up with that money. And I understand there's a lawsuit there, and we'll just have to see what happens with the lawsuit, right? Like, I'm not super concerned with the lawsuit. That's why we all bought the dip. I know many people who bought the dip down there, and we'll ride it out and see what happens. I think we'll end up on a winning trade here.
And I think, speaking for myself, mediocre, most of the traders, the active traders in our Discord, if it craters, our tendency, at least now, is I did the whole hold thing just like you guys did, from
cut the loss, baby,
from till August of 2023, when I changed my strategy for AMC. I did the whole thing just like you guys did. We're not sitting around just taking losses. If some bad news came out, war in Israel, for example, and the whole market starts nosediving, your speculative stocks are probably going to get hit the worst, at least for a moment, until the news cycle changes. And although I have cash set aside to buy dips, my more speculative trades, I'd probably exit them. And then when I see that things are bottoming out, I'd go back in, knowing what I know about the box office.
Yeah.
If it goes up, though, let's talk about upside. I'd like to see a new base for AMC, a new support above this red bar mediocre.
Absolutely.
So over five, let's say over 550. I'd be cool with that.
I think we can get there, Tony, because, the box office. I think that those box office numbers are going to come in. Hopefully, he gives some guidance, for Q4 and stuff like that. Give people a little something to think about.
Yep. Someone's asking, what does 2.65 billion take us for earnings per share? I'm just going to throw out a rough number, and I'll give you the exact numbers on October 1st or 2nd. But I'm looking at a range, profit-wise, net income-wise. And the reason I'm hesitating is I haven't calculated the impact of the interest rate changes on the new debt deal. So I need to just make sure I have that calculated into my model. But without changing anything, just using the old debt, the old interest rates, it would somewhere around 12 to 20 million dollars, 8 to 12 cents EPS off of operations. And then we'll have some extra number, which I'm going to try and calculate this time. I've never attempted to do it before. We're going to cover some new ground here. There's going to be some extra gain from extinguishment of debt, is my belief also. So even if I tell you it's 8 or 12 cents, you might see 20 or 30. I don't know, because I haven't run the numbers, but there'll be some non-cash gain, I think, added into this quarter. So we'll want to look at the adjusted earnings per share. You're going to get your GAAP number, which will include the gain from extinguishment of debt. That will be a bigger number. And then you'll have your real number, which AMC is going to say, all right, that's not an ongoing part of the business, so we're going to take that out. Here's the adjusted EPS. That's the one you want to pay attention to this quarter. And it will be a lower number, is my belief, than the official SEC reported number. Hopefully by now you guys understand the difference between GAAP and non-GAAP, GAAP and adjusted, and why it's good to look at both. It's good to understand both, and it's good to understand why they differ. But I'll go over this more in detail first couple days of October when I'll share the spreadsheet with you line by line of what I'm expecting. And we'll do a little bit of range depending on AMC's market share. Did they get 29%, 30, 31? The more market share or the less, it impacts the numbers in a big way. So that's hard for me to calculate. What percentage of market share did we get? But I'll give you the range, and I'll tell you where I think it's coming in, and then we'll find out in November. I'm more than confident that it's going to be a positive number, and that's really the thing I'm focusing on right now, because everybody's expecting a negative, and I don't know why.
I kind of know why, Tony.
You kind of know why? Because they want to pick it up cheap, mediocre. They want to scare us out of the play.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about others like us.
Oh no, I'm talking about why the analysts haven't updated their price yet.
Oh,
Their
okay.
earnings per share.
Yeah, they haven't done it yet. Thought you were talking about something else.
The analysts covering this stock are very, I'm going to say, lazy, but they're not willing to stick their neck out for AMC. It's got a lot of unknowns with the debt. I don't necessarily blame them, but they're not doing us any favors either because they're being hesitant. I understand. I don't have to like it, but I understand. I think we'll end up being more right than them unless they upgrade their numbers. Any other questions on AMC? Then we'll move on to GameStop. Oh, should I tell them my speculative trade on AMC mediocre besides buying at 420 and 437?
I think why not? I think it was a good trade too.
Do y'all want to know? I mean, I don't want to. I'm going to be mediocre. They're going to accuse me of trying to trick people into doing speculative. I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, never mind. Don't tell them.
Let's not.
We'll keep it amongst us. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. What other questions you guys got? Sparky is in the chat. Sparky says nothing happened. Oh, thank you, Sparky, for if you guys want to know the speculative stuff I did, let me know. I will tell you. But we got to have the warnings for the crybabies out there. He's telling people to do this. I don't give trading advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. My trading style might not be appropriate for you. Let's talk about the Adam Aaron speech before we shift to a different ticker. Adam Aaron talked last week at the Variety Technology Summit, Entertainment and Technology, whatever it was. 20-minute speech at 9 a.m. Pacific. And you guys probably saw the interview. And he said he was very bullish. He was very, the CEO's job is to be a marketer of the company to customers, to Hollywood, to advertisers, and to us, right? So, of course, he's bullish, but everybody is bullish. The Cinemark CEO is bullish. The IMAX CEO is bullish. Every industry analyst is saying 2025 is going to be better than 2024 and 2026 even more so. So that, I'll give him a pass on that. We want him to be bullish as opposed to saying we're going to lose $250,000 this quarter. But the thing that everybody latched onto this week was he said, talking about the debt deal, that the $414 million of convertible debt would automatically convert at 566. And I have a problem with that because I know he's the CEO, and far be it from me to correct the CEO. But I've read that damn document. Sparky, you're a bond portfolio manager, not related to AMC, but he's in the industry. I know he's a smart guy. I know he's probably read the filings. I've read them many times, the July filings. I did not see anything in there that said automatic conversion at 566. It says at the option of the lender, the option of the bond holder, they could convert, and the conversion price is 566. So that's the threshold. You got to get over that. And at some point above that, they can convert, but they've got till 2030 to convert. And if you know about convertible bonds, you got your interest income portion of the bond, and you've got your capital appreciation portion of the bond. And as Sparky pointed out to me, hey, Tony, these bonds are trading above par. Ding, ding. Why is that? Capital appreciation. If these debt holders are bullish about the future, the longer they hold on to those bonds, the more of a return they get from capital appreciation above the strike price. Now, Sparky, if I'm speaking out of turn, I'm not a bond expert. I'm trying hard to catch up. But if I'm speaking out of turn, let me know. I do not, in my opinion, do not think that there is any automatic conversion. However, what we're RDD, our working information until someone gives us better info, is that at some point over 566, they will convert. Is that $6, $7, $8, $9? I don't know. That's up to the lender to decide. And when that happens, that will be dilution. they're going to trade their bonds for shares, and they'll probably maybe sell those shares to lock in their gains, the capital appreciation. And AMC gets $414 million wiped off the balance sheet, which improves things a lot of the ratios. So it's a win-win-lose. I mean, win for AMC because they have less interest expense. Win for AMC because they have a better balance sheet. Win for investors that want those things, but lose for investors that are concerned about dilution. You got to weigh all of that in as you're thinking about what you're going to do if the price starts moving up. I can't tell you where the balance is going to be between a better balance sheet and dilution. I don't know. But I can tell you that as the price starts moving up, I'm going to be thinking more and more.
100%.
I'm going to be thinking more and more like caution. Do I want to take some profits off in case dilution starts happening? The ideal scenario for me would be a massive run up to 12 because Roaring Kitty comes out of his basement mediocre. Because then I don't got to think about it. If it runs up to 12, I'm out.
I mean, what if he put some money into AMC? What if he looked at the balance sheet?
I'd still sell on a run up.
So would I. Absolutely, Tony. Gone. All of it.
Sparky says Adam Aaron misspoke. So I see Sparky agreeing with me. He says in 2030, if the price is above 566, everyone will take the stock. So Sparky's DD, his belief, and look, he's looked at a career's worth of convertible bonds. I'm not a bond trader. I'm just in the last 2 years trying to catch up. And really in the last year, he's telling me that these bondholders have no incentive to turn in the bonds early. And I trust he hasn't steered me wrong yet. So, but Sparky, what if it runs up to 12? Do you think that you think they'd try and dump them real quick if we had a blip for a day? I'm just curious what you think. So we got that kind of conversation. We got that to think about. Sparky's saying, don't worry about it till 2030. I'm still going to worry about it the higher we go over 566, but I'm not going to be tweeting or telling you guys it's automatic conversion at 566 because I don't think that's correct. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me either way. I'm just thinking in my head at some point over $566, there's the potential of conversion, dilution, improve the balance sheet. That's all I really need to know for my purposes.
Eventually, we're going to get there if we keep improving in the box and the balance sheet, Tony. So, whether it's this year or next year, it's likely going to happen. By what I mean by likely going to happen, I'm talking about getting over $6.
User one says, Tony, do you have any securities lawyers, friends that could comment on the AMC lawsuit? I wish I did. No, I don't. I'm not a securities lawyer, but I have played one on TV.
Yeah.
I haven't done that, but I do like to read the lawsuits and weigh in on this stuff just with I just look at them black and white, common sense. What's the judge most likely to do? The majority of these things settle. So that's kind of where my head is at, that there'll be a settlement, but what do I know? And I think that if it drags out for a while and a couple of good quarters get booked, AMC has other options where they could just say, fuck you guys, we're going to buy you out. We're going to go sell some more bonds and just pay off your $800 million. Sparky, can they do that on that term loan? Can they pay it off early? Do you know? While I'm waiting for him to answer, we got $800 million left on the term loan that did not partake in the new debt deal, and those are the people that are suing. So that's what we're kind of waiting on seeing. But I mean, they got till 2026 to figure it out.
Yeah, as long as the courts don't do anything crazy, I think we're in good shape.
I mean, what's the worst case that happens? That's really what you need to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, they want collateral, so AMC gives them some collateral, or they come up with some other deal. Oh, we'll pay you another 2% interest, or I don't know. We could sit here and spitball on it all night. What a deal could be worked out in arbitration settlement. I don't know.
I think they'll get it. I think they come up with it.
All right, we're shifting over to GameStop. You can see my trading history for GameStop. It goes way back. I've been trading GameStop since I tried the buy and hold thing, and that didn't really work out. So after
Wanna
the
try it again?
huh?
Want to try it again?
No.
Roll the dice, Tony. Let's go.
After the 4-for-1 reverse forward split, I just started trading it, and I've been doing quite well. You can see all the purples is when I buy, and all the red or orange is when I sell. And so I did buy some down. This is the same setup as AMC. You got your supply zone up here. It's having trouble punching through, and GameStop diluting is not helping. And then you got your demand zone, which it's respecting very well. So you can see I bought here in August at 1934, well into this demand zone. And then I bought on 9/11 when it dropped after the earnings. It dropped, and I got some at 1950. I don't hate GameStop. Stop listening to liars who tell you that. I just want for myself the most risk-free, cheapest entry based on the current info we have. And we got now a chart going back. Whoops. We got a chart going back to May, June that is pretty solid. I mean, I can work with this. How about you, Mediocre? I mean, are you seeing some indicators there you can work with?
No, absolutely.
I know you don't really trade GameStop, but you can look at a chart. So
Absolutely.
I bought at 1950, and then I sold on the 24th at 2172 because I saw it kind of topping out. So clearly I did not get the top. Did not. I know people, Tony says he always gets the top. I did not. I got 2172. So I made a little over $2 a share, which is not bad for holding it for 2 weeks. And it's looking a little indecisive here, Mediocre. Look at these candles. What do you see there?
Yeah, it's consolidating. A lot of whips on the top.
Anything could happen off of these candles. It could go up or it could go down, but I just wanted to close out, lock in my gains. And, if it starts running next week, guess what? I got cash I can buy. If it drops, guess what? I got cash I can wait for
Tony,
for a point that's down in here that I like. Yeah, Mediocre.
I got a question for you. Frankie said he's seen you in the new Boss Hog in the Dukes of Hazzard movie. He said that's where you were playing Boss Hog. He said your film career wasn't over.
I do a better Roscoe P. Coltrane impression than Boss Hog, and Boss Hog is pretty fat, Frankie. Come on.
Frankie
I know I put on some weight, Frankie, but damn.
Frankie says Tony Denaro, the new Boss Hog in the new Dukes of Hazzard TV show. I love it.
So what are we thinking about? What are we thinking about GameStop, Mediocre? Or do you have any disagreement with what I'm doing here?
No, I actually like it. I'm always in something else, so I never bite on that one. But
I've made, like I said, I've been trading GameStop for 2 years. So I've increased my videos on GameStop because the amount of misinformation that's being put out on GameStop on YouTube, I've noticed the misinformation increasing. And I feel I have an obligation to make sure people have fact-based information.
So, Tony, I will say this, though,
Yeah.
regarding this chart. You could throw a trend line on the top of those peaks, and it'll show you a clear downtrend. Lower.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can
lower
connect the
highs every
dots
time.
right here, right? Mediocre across the top. The
Yeah,
trend
right
is down.
Trend
Without
is
a doubt.
definitely down.
The
So-
trend is down. And that has to do with dilution for one thing, no profits other than interest income for another, and no plan. And I hope you guys go watch the GameStop video that I put out tonight. I have some more coming with math, talking to you about how to properly value GameStop. And again, if you're a MOAS speculator, if you're a Ryan Cohen fanboy and you don't care what you pay, then just ignore my videos because they don't apply to you. But if you're someone like me who enjoys trading GameStop, or maybe you just want to buy and invest for the long term, but you don't want to pay $25, $29 if it's going to drop to 19. What do the other channels tell you? Buy it at any and every price possible. Why would you give that advice?
One today, Tony. Buy one today.
Why would you? My advice to you always is going to be, if you like a stock, wait. And everybody in my Discord can tell you that I say this on every stock. Wait till it's freaking cheap. Mediocre. You started off this live stream talking about how you get irritated at me waiting.
Oh God!
But how many times do I beat you on getting a lower entry?
I know it's been a few times, and I'm
not every time, but it's been a few times.
I'm not used to that, Tony. Gus does a great job too. I gotta hand it to Gus. Gus does a very good job getting the bottom too. But a lot of people in our community, Tony, had gotten solid entries the other day. A lot of them. And
on what?
On AMC.
AMC. Yeah. I don't know that we have some that are trading GameStop, but not as many that are trading AMC.
Yeah.
So that's my DD on GameStop. I don't hate it. I love that they have 4.6 billion cash. The problem is the valuation. If you're just talking, look, I'm going to make this easy. My college kid could come in here and tell you in 2 minutes what the valuation of GameStop is. And it's not what these dummies are telling you on the other YouTube channel that it's $50. That is horseshit. When you don't have earnings, your valuation is going to be your balance sheet, your assets minus your liabilities, your book value, plus whatever fudge factor you want to give the company for future potential earnings. And we can do the math on future potential earnings of cash, making 4%, 5%. We can do the math. I'm going to do the video, but I'm going to give the GameStop guys a couple days to catch up. I hope they do the video first, and then I won't have to. But they're lying to their audiences. They're lying to their audiences. And if they don't come clean, I'm going to do the math, and we'll clear this right up.
I just don't understand why they say, it's the best investment.
It's a company with a decline in top line revenue, gross revenue since 2015, mediocre. And they're accelerating the closure of stores. They've got a beautiful balance sheet, an enviable balance sheet, no debt, 500 million. But if you want to count the leases, but that does not drive a valuation of the stock of $22. It just doesn't. And neither does 4 or 5% on $4.6 billion. You can't get to a $22 valuation on that. You can't. The only thing you can tell me is I want to speculate on a MOAS. Cool. I will never complain to you. Do what you want. You got to say I'm speculating. I know I'm overpaying. I'm good with it, Tony. I'm speculating on Warren Kitty coming back. I'm speculating on Ryan Cohen dropping some news that sends the stock skyrocketing for a couple days. Cool. Just be upfront. Say that's what you're doing. But when you cross the line and start trying to say, here's why this is a value stock, because they might pay a dividend one day, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. A value stock, I got books on value stock. I look for them every day. The first sort we do is the market cap lower than the book value? GameStop's not in that category. It's not a value stock. It's just not. There's no other definition except one you make up in your head. It is a speculative stock that is currently overvalued, and that speculation might pay off handsomely. I hope to be in it if it runs one day. I hope to be in it at 1950, where it runs up to $60 again. Look how much money I made here. I bought in at $29. I don't care what price it is. I'm looking at the chart, but I know that I need to start selling up here because it's overvalued.
Yep.
That's all I'm trying to communicate to you guys. If you want to trade this successfully, if you're tired of holding and being down, buying every day and being down, learn how Wall Street is valuing it so you can make a smarter entry. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate the stock.
My question it would be, Tony, quite frankly, how could you hold on to
a company with no income?
Well, how could you hold on to an investment that isn't giving you any profit? It hasn't made you anything.
Because they believe in the MOAS, whether they say it or not. And that's fine with me. Just say it. Quit trying to say you're in it for the fundamentals, because there is no fundamental valuation metric that you can use to justify the current price.
I agree with you, Tony. That's one of the reasons why I don't buy it.
Here's the biggest mistake I see people making. And I'm going to say, God bless you. You're new, first day here, maybe. You can't look at the book value and say, oh, well, NVIDIA is trading at 5x book. Therefore, GameStop should be $55. Book value is not a metric that you use to set a share price valuation. Share price valuation, unless you're trading under book, then you could say, oh, well, GameStop's trading at $9. The book is 11. It should at least be 11. That's what Roaring Kitty did. He was smart. You can't look at book value on a company with no earnings and say this should be trading at $50 because XYZ company's trading at 5x book. No one is looking at that. Everyone looks at what? EV to EBITDA, return on assets, return on equity, price to earnings ratio, everything, discounted cash flow, everything to derive the share price at this point comes from earnings. So you need to show me a model based on one of those to justify your price target. And that is what I will do for you guys in a week. But I'm going to give the GameStop YouTubers a chance to do it first because they can learn by doing. Right now, they're fooling themselves. They're fooling their audience, maybe purposefully, maybe just accidentally. But if you're banking on this thing being a $50 valuation because of book value, you're going to be wrong. And you better be praying that some announcement comes out and you get a reprieve, and you should probably take some profits off the table if that happens.
What's the short interest, Tony? Let's talk about that real quick.
It's like under 9%. It's not even a short squeeze candidate. It's falling. Why would you short GameStop?
No, I agree with you.
I mean, they're not going bankrupt.
I thought I'd bring it out there because I know it's got low short interest. I mean,
it's going to be a battle here around $20 mediocre, because Wall Street knows that there's no earnings, they're closing stores, and that the real valuation of the stock, Finance 101, not my price target. Quit lying when I tell you what the book value is or the fair price valuation. I'm not telling you my price target. I'm just saying it's worth $11 plus a couple dollars for the interest, several dollars for the interest income.
When I look at GameStop, Tony, I think back to what happened with AMC when it ran to 72 and they walked it all the way back. The only difference between that GameStop and AMC is GameStop's got money on the balance sheet, and that's pretty much it.
The shorts could really turn the screws on AMC because they had legit
Right.
bankruptcy risk,
They
right?
didn't have exactly.
You can't turn the screws on GameStop. That's why the short interest is falling. This is not a short squeeze play anymore.
That's why I brought it up.
But they will try and push the price down closer to a fair value. But here's the rub. As the shorts try and do that, they're also taking on a lot of risk because they don't want to be short if Roaring Kitty comes back.
I try to use a lot of logic, you guys, when in my trading, because I hate to lose, period. I hate it. So
they don't want to be short, mediocre, if Roaring Kitty comes back. They don't want to be short if Ryan Cohen makes an announcement. No matter what the valuation of his announcement is, it could be enough to shoot this thing up to 40 or 60 bucks again.
oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it has a following that could do that, right? And shorts aren't going to pile on like they did with AMC.
Right.
I agree with that too. So that makes it easy to get pushed up. Once it gets up there, they're gonna come back in and push it down to a reasonable value. Once it's super overvalued, they're gonna come back in.
Absolutely. Or Ryan will dilute some more.
Oh, absolutely. I mean that's the other thing. Why wouldn't he take that money?
He's getting twice the value of his shares by selling at 20 bucks. If I was Ryan, I'd do that all day. But as a shareholder, you should not be saying, give me more, Ryan, give me more dilution. Like, guys, you GameStop people hate dilution in every other stock out there, but for some reason you love it here. Like something is not connecting right up in the brain.
So Tony, the other thing I'll bring up, and I'm just kind of using the two together to compare them. The reason why I stayed with AMC so long and took that brutal beatdown is because AMC didn't have the shares to dilute because we denied them, which also cost us dearly. We should have allowed them to do it.
Yep.
In my opinion.
And then at least, you know, when he announced Ape, we had that arbitrage opportunity to fix some of the losses that we've been holding.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't have any at that time, but
well,
but I didn't capitalize on any gains either. So let's be clear on that.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, once we had that out, we knew that. I mean, the company had made it very clear once the court decision went through that they were going to dilute. Right, that was no secret.
Yeah,
that's why we exited the play for a few days or a few weeks. I forget, but most of us exited like I had been telling you guys since December of 2022, I think, that you should be aware that the company could dilute, and I'm not a big fan of dilution. Reverse split, I'm going to keep saying this, a reverse split by itself is meaningless, but if you know that there's dilution behind it, you need to think about what you want to do in the play. Do you want to hold through that, or do you want to exit? You could have exited as soon as he announced Ape if you thought that dilution was a potential.
I mean, it was funny how they would bring up all these dollar stocks who absolutely needed cash. They needed to remain above $1 so they could stay on the New York Stock Exchange. And they would bring up those types of stocks and be like, see, every reverse split gets diluted.
Yeah, but it wasn't the reverse split, mediocre. It was the massive dilution that followed on those penny stocks.
I agree with you. I'm trying to talk about it so that people can see, like, yeah, if your stock is trading at $40 and they don't have no shares and they may need them in the future because they're maxed out, they may do a reverse split just to put shares back in case of an emergency.
Bullish Citizen says short interest is self-reported. It might be. Do I care? No, because I have other ways to measure short interest. Bullish. What's a good one? Anybody in the chat? Not mediocre. I know you know. If you don't believe the short interest percentage data being reported, what is a second way you could measure the actual short interest? Your secondary data point. Somebody tell me in the chat. This is a test. See if you guys are drunk yet tonight or not. See how sharp you are. Who's my sharp traders?
I'm gonna go grab another beer while you get the answer.
Grab me one too, mediocre. We got, I think, a 20-second delay, so I'm going to wait 20 more seconds. Come on, give me your guesses. What is another way you can tell what the true short interest is? It's not short volume. It's not off exchange trading. When mediocre comes back, we'll do the big reveal, but I'd like to see a couple people take a stab at a guess. Anya, we'll get to GCT next. And other trades that we did this week, and then we'll Sparky. That is Sparky says he decides if a stock is heavily shorted by watching Donahue videos. Oh, Lordy. Crismo says Fintel. What would you look at on Fintel? They're going to have the short interest percentage, and Bullish Citizen is saying that you can't trust that number. So if you were looking on Fintel, what is the secondary data point you could look at? Mediocre? I'm going to grab a beer, and then we're going to do the reveal of the answer.
Let me read some of these comments then while you're gone.
All right. I see nobody taking a guess. Mediocre, I'm just going to ask you. If you didn't trust the short interest reported percentage, can you think of something else you could look at to give you an idea? Is the reported short interest correct, or are they lying to us?
I mean, I'd go look at the float outstanding for one. Look at the hold on, let me pull up Fintel so I can make it easier for myself here. Hang on, give me a second. I want to see what else on there, because
I don't
really look up short interest because
doesn't look like Fintel has the other number that I'm looking for, does it? Oh, it does have it. It does. It is on Fintel.
Hold on, let me go. Let me throw in a ticker symbol real quick. I don't really look this stuff up too much because I use other metrics like.
We have a winner. We have a winner in the chat.
Free float.
Manicio is correct. That's what I would look at. If I didn't believe the short interest reported percentage, if I thought, oh, they're just self-reported, I can't trust that. GameStop only is 8.95% short. Let me switch screens here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. If I didn't trust that number right there, which, I think it's pretty accurate. There's other ways they can short with derivatives or swaps, but we're just talking about short interest, right? Because everyone always says, I don't believe the numbers. They're self-reported. Okay, maybe they are. How else could we tell if they're shorting and not reporting it? We could look at the borrow rate. Mediocre. Do you agree?
Yeah, where is it?
It's down here. Short borrow fee rates. Look at this.
There you go.
0.42. It's not even 1%. That tells me nobody's fucking borrowing these shares. But Tony, the borrow fee rates are not correct. You're being shown false data. You think that I don't cross-check that across brokers to see what their borrow rate is?
Oh, absolutely.
You can. This is data you guys can go get. If the borrow fee is low, nobody's shorting it. It's a supply and demand thing. When there's no shares available, that borrow rate will skyrocket. But Tony, they're not borrowing it, Tony. See, what they do is they just create fake shares and they sell them. All right. If you want to play that game, why are you even investing in the stock market? You're just basically saying you can never win.
Tony, why do I not?
Why would
care
they
so
ever
much about
stop?
that?
Huh?
Tell them why I don't look so much at short interest.
Because we can look at a chart.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even look at short interest maybe once a week on any stock. I mean, I tried that whole running the numbers thing every day, and it didn't improve my trading mediocre. I'm just telling you.
I'll tell you guys why. Here's why. Because if I'm going to go enter into a play, you got to remember I trade weekly. Okay. So I rarely consistently hold one stock for a period of time. Okay. Like now I've been in AMC for 2 weeks, but prior to that, I was in ASTS and JetBlue and other things. But what I do is I go to Dilution Tracker. I go to, SEC Edgar. I check to see what's going on with the company. I read the news. I find out what's up with the company before I make my decision, right? So if it's heavily shorted, you're going to know why is it heavily shorted. Give you a perfect example. ASTS was demolished. It dropped from $40 to $26.50 or something like that before I entered, right? But I was watching it. Why did it sell off like that? It sold off like that because dilution. There's always some reason behind why it's being shorted or something like that. I know a lot of you don't want to believe that, but that's the truth.
And the reason behind GameStop being run down since June was 3 dilutions.
So, I mean, what's up, Rolf? Rolf's in the house.
Bullish says if you can't, if they're using swaps or derivatives, what use is the data? It's the only data we got, Bullish. And when I see it get high, when I see the short interest and the borrow fee go up, I start paying attention. But if they're doing other stuff on the side, I can't see that. I can't control it. I can look at the chart, and that's all we do all day, and it works for us.
Yeah. I mean, you see a company with high short interest, you go, well, why are they so willing to short this stock? Why? What? Shorting is dangerous. It's more dangerous to short a stock than it is to go long. Let's be clear on that. You have way more risk shorting than you do going long. So why is somebody so willing to short an equity?
That's the question I ask now, Mediocre. Like, if it's high short interest, first of all, I want to understand why before I even think about buying the stock.
Exactly.
And then I can make an informed decision. All right, I know it's 90% shorted. Do I still want to wager some money on this? And now that I know why they're shorting it, I can size my risk appropriately, because I might be wrong. This company might go bankrupt. The company might have a dilution pending. The company might have a high need for cash.
And I get it. This is an unpopular opinion. A lot of people don't like it, but it works for me. That's how I trade.
We still play short squeeze plays. I'm just telling y'all, we have a different way of looking at it. First of all, we try and understand why are they shorting. Once we understand that, then we can decide if we get in the play or not. And right now, all I'm seeing is shorts are scared of GameStop. If you're a long investor, you should be happy about that.
That's right.
You should be happy there's low short interest. They're not trying to push it down. But all I'm saying is, like, when I do my valuation run on GameStop and I know what the proper valuation of the price is, the higher it goes here, you're going to see the short interest start climbing because it's trading above any normal valuation. It's just fear keeping the shorts out. And I think it's a reasonable fear. They don't want to get screwed by an announcement. So it's an interesting play. So what makes it fun for me? It's part of the fun of waking up every day and trying to outsmart the market, outsmart the chart. I've had a lot of good trades here on GameStop this year. Bought at 14, bought at 15, sold at 16, sold at 16.95, bought back in at 29, sold at 60 and 43. Waited months for it to come back down to 19.34, sold at 21.35, bought back in 19.50, sold 21.72, and now I'm back in wait and see mode. If it takes off next week and it's skyrocketing up, I'll jump in and ride the wave up. If it comes back down, I'll also buy then. Because the lower it goes, the better I feel. I know it's getting closer to fair value. Makes me more comfortable. And I'm really, really patient. You can see I waited from June I waited 2 months for this dip. Can you imagine the people that were buying every day along here, mediocre? Every day, let's just buy a share. I don't care what it costs. Their cost basis is, why you want to fuck up your cost basis like that?
I can't do that, Tony. I can't.
Just learn how to value the stock and learn some patience, and then teach people.
If I'm not making pennies, Tony, I'm not happy.
They don't do that. They'll lose their viewers. Ridiculous. Six Son says AMC is going to $3. Why would it, Six Son? I'm happy to entertain your theory. It might, but tell me why. Tell me why. Let's see what you got. Sparky says that's why institutions do swaps. It's just math. Money goes from the loser to the winner. Nobody is forced to cover and buy in the market. Yeah, I think, Sparky, there's wide misunderstanding of what swaps are too. Maybe we should do a video about that one day. Swaps is a side bet, right? You guys know that, right? You watch, what was that movie with what's his name? Was it Ryan Reynolds? My tits are jacked. Swaps are side bets. They're not necessarily directly affecting the price. It was a question. We talked about AMC and where we think the bottom is. Six Son already. I don't want to go rehash all that, but just scroll back to where you see the AMC chart just like this up there, and we do talk about that. All right. Diatog says AMC will stay under 566 for a long while. Any higher than that, and you might get a few note holders converting. I think we disagree for the moment, Diatog, and until I get better intel. And I got people giving me intel that are far smarter than me in the world of bonds and convertible notes, saying that there's no reason for these bondholders to convert anytime until we're closer to 2030. And I've read the documents, the filings myself from July, what do you call it? The indentures, in the term loan notes, and everything about the 414 million worth of convertible notes. I did not see a automatic conversion. All I saw was wording that says at the option of the debt holder, they can convert. And Sparky's telling me, he's a smart guy. He's telling me, as a bond portfolio manager, not trading AMC bonds, independent expert that I trust, that there's really no reason for them to convert this soon. And maybe we'll have him on a live here in this next week and have him explain that out to you, because I'm not the guy to explain that. It's above my pay grade. But he's saying simply in the chat here, they lose their option value if they convert. And if you want to know what we're talking about the option value, go look at the bond prices. I post them from time to time in videos and on my Twitter. If you look at these convertible notes, you'll notice they're trading at like 109, 111. They're trading above par, par being 100. That is the option value. If they were going to convert at 566, then you'd say, well, there's no option value there. It's just going to automatically convert. You wouldn't get a premium to par. And so that's kind of like our secondary DD. I'm using the fact check Sparky. And I haven't been able to poke a hole in his theory yet. But if you are a bond expert and you want to go toe to toe with them, let me know, and we'll have a live debate. I'm not that guy. I know when to reach out to people smarter than me.
Tony.
Yo.
Did you see that James Janney?
Yeah, let's pivot. We talked enough charts. I know Anya wants to talk about GCT. Anya, can you hang with us and let us talk about James Janney while we're still on GameStop? Let's just knock that out. Mediocre. I'm just James Janney released 2 videos after a year this week, one on Wednesday about the GameStop cult, and one on Friday about the Bed Bath & Beyond cult. Cult, I think, look, investors aren't cult, but when you have irrational beliefs and you circle the wagons and reject anyone that doesn't echo your belief, that gets a little cultish. When you analyze things and reject normal things like valuation or legal documents, bankruptcy filings, when you reject that, be it GameStop or Bed Bath & Beyond, it feels a little cultish.
Or any other stock, Tony.
Or any other stock. And that's what I was going to say, mediocre. When are we getting the AMC expose?
Don't know.
James?
Yeah.
How did AMC get spared from that, I wonder? Sometimes AMC feels a little culty. I mean, I just cover the filings, mediocre, and I got people on both sides that want to kill me.
I used to want to kill
all
you,
the pumpers have blocked me for covering a 10Q because I won't say, it's going to $1,000. I'll block that shill. He's trying to make money. He's trying to buy low and sell high. Block him. Run him off the reservation.
I don't understand that, Tony.
If you don't toe the line, you're not part of the cult. Guys, if you're blocking people just because you don't like what they're saying about their analysis, you might be part of a cult.
Did you see how fast I got kicked out of the cult, Tony? That was quick.
Yes.
I wasn't.
If someone presents an analysis and your only response is insulting, doxing, threatening, you might be part of a cult. How about you take their information and see if you can create a normal response as an investor? Like, oh, okay, I see you're valuing GameStop's book value at $11, and you're saying that because they have no earnings and declining revenue, that I can't really assign a premium for earnings. And here's my answer. How come we just can't have a discussion like that? They don't want to. If you're a cult, instead of having that discussion like a normal adult, you're going to launch into personal attacks, making fun of someone, the way they look, the way they talk.
Tony,
doxing is common, death threats, showing up at someone's house, showing up their work. If you're doing all of that, you're part of a cult, or you might be a cult leader. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, here's the other thing, right?
Mhm.
Like a lot of these people claim to be patriots, but they don't respect their First Amendment right to have a conversation. I don't get it.
I've learned the
Same with-
most mediocre from learning to listen to people that have a different opinion than me.
Absolutely.
Challenge my belief system. Do it. And let me
So-
see if I have a reasonable response to your DD. I'm not going to insult you.
So I'll say this too. It's funny because, like, why are you trying to pocket watch me? Pocket watch yourself. What do you care what I'm doing? If I'm not doing it, somebody else is going to do it. If I'm not trading the stock, somebody else is going to trade it. At least I'm here talking about the company or companies, whatever it is.
We're
about-
trying to be as transparent as we can and provide
Absolutely.
fact-based stuff, math, filings to back up what we're saying, but no one else will do that, mediocre. Or if they do it, they slaughter their fundamental analysis. Like they'll look at a balance sheet and ignore an income statement. They'll ignore EV to EBITDA, PE ratio, ROE, and talk about book value, which is irrelevant when you have no earnings. So we can back up everything we say.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy to have discussions with you guys. I'm happy for you to have a different opinion. The market works off of different opinions.
And I don't necessarily want them to stop doing what they're doing. I don't care what they do. They're their own person. This is America. They could be free. Right?
I'm only talking to the people that want to become more successful in their risk management and their trading.
Absolutely.
If you want to play MOAS plays and put your life savings in it, do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm buying GameStop too. I'm buying AMC. But I recognize them for what they are, and I recognize what the proper valuation of them is.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying that to be hateful. I'm not getting paid by anybody. I'm just trading because that's how I make my money. Why don't pocket watch me? That's all. You don't need to know that I bought and sold AMC, or GameStop or ASTS or whatever the ticker is. It doesn't freaking matter. The point I'm trying to make though is you guys should not be telling people what they can and can't trade. That's not right. That's
And you
cultish
shouldn't be
behavior.
attacking them if they have a different trading style. Now, look, the people that are mean, insulting, belittling, all this nonsense that goes on social media, I see people doing it to you because you're bullish about a stock. I try not to do that to anybody. You can have your conviction. You can have whatever belief system you want. I'm still going to talk about my belief system.
I don't even like clapping back at people, to be honest, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Sometimes you got to, because they're not willing to have a actual discussion about finance, mediocre, or filings. But anybody that wants to have an adult conversation, share your DD. That's what I'm saying. That if you think GameStop's worth $50, show me the math. And don't bring book value in here, because I'll go get some random freshman from college that's never looked at GameStop and have him walk you through a valuation. This is not rocket science. I believe that Ryan Cohen or Roaring Kitty could make an announcement and send GameStop running up. I'd like to be in it when that happens, but I'm not going to overpay for that privilege. I want to be in as cheap as I can.
Why is that, Tony? Because there's 100
It
million other stocks to
it
make money
mitigates
on,
my risk, mediocre.
and there's 100 other million stocks in the market to make money on.
Right. There's other stocks that I can buy that are undervalued that I know I can make money on. So James Janney, let's see, what else can we say about him? We're wondering, just like you guys, where's the AMC cult video. I don't know. Maybe he'll do one. Maybe we'll make one mediocre.
Yeah, that's an idea, huh?
Maybe we lived through it. Maybe we could make a good one.
We did.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I thought James did. He presented a pretty balanced. He presented the bulls, and he presented the, what do you call it? The
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to hate on
what is
anybody.
it? GME meltdown from Reddit. Presented both sides.
Yeah.
I think, and then when I watched the Bed Bath and Beyond one, I've tried talking to those guys like on my normal logical. I made a couple videos. I used to trade Bed Bath and Beyond. In fact, I sold, I think the day before Ryan Cohen did, because the chart was getting kind of toppy. That was just luck that I sold, and then he announced that he was selling. I was like, woo! But and then I never went back, and I tried just with a couple videos as they were doing their death spiral financing. I was like, look, guys, you're going to get slaughtered here. And since I wasn't in the stock, I just did 2 or 3 videos over that last year. And I've tried to help them a couple times, but man, these guys they're like rabid dogs if you don't agree with their narrative. So I mostly just leave them alone. The stock's canceled, the company's bankrupt. They're not hurting anybody in my view. So they can do whatever they want. I don't care.
It's America, right?
Yeah. Have your live streams. Doesn't bother me one bit. I don't understand. In fact, all the people that are bothering them, I don't understand why. Why are you bothering them? Who are they hurting at this point? Who are they hurting? That's what I think about Bed Bath and Beyond. They're already hurting enough. They lost all their money. Their stock got canceled. Let them have their little powwows on live streams. You guys have any thoughts? What'd you think about the James Janney?
Yeah, what the chat think about it?
I hadn't seen too many people mentioning, sharing any thoughts. Did y'all even watch it? It's pretty entertaining.
I thought it was done pretty good.
He put in a lot of work to make that thing look professional. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of time. I wish I could take a year to put out a video mediocre.
I mean, I did one video today, man. It drove me friggin' nuts. That's why I stopped doing it. We'll see.
All right. Seems like nobody wants to talk about James Janney, so we'll move on. Anya wants to talk about GCT, so let's put that one up. We have been trading GCT, and I think it's up. Is it up, Anya? Is that why you want to talk about it? Let me find the chart here. Giga Cloud Tech. PE ratio is 8. We're not going to do a full breakdown. You can see I started buying it after this big dip. I took a small entry. I had been watching this stock for a while. I had my demand zone. It got crushed through that. And I was like, here's a chance to snag a little bit on 8.2. That was right here. No, right here, this red candle. I had my trading plan mediocre. If it fell into the demand zone, grab a little bit and then see what happens.
So you didn't nail the bottom again, Tony.
I didn't nail the bottom, and but I also didn't load up my whole portfolio, because when this happens, you never know. You guys know, if you're in my Discord, I do this on all of the stocks, and I tell you what I'm doing. I get an initial position. So I was waiting for it to get here. I grabbed a little bit, and then I wait and see what happens. And it fell some more. And on this day at 22.72, so right about here, I grabbed some more, but it kept on going down. So then I got a bigger position. I waited for the bleeding to stop. I did not get the bottom mediocre. The bottom was 15.61.
Yeah.
I just stopped paying attention to it, to be honest. By the time I looked at it, I was like, oh shit, it's running back up. So I got some at $18, and I got a larger position to average these down. I had already done some of my DD, so that's why I was willing to buy the dip and average down. And that's kind of how I do all of these plays. When I say, okay, I get a little entry. If it keeps going down, I might snag a little bit more if it drops 10%. And if I'm still wrong, I'm just, all right, I either need to stop trading it, sell, or just wait for the thing to stop running down. And I had such a small position here. I said, I'm just going to wait. And then I loaded up more here. And now we're back up to 23. So I don't remember. I don't remember looking at my portfolio on Friday to see if my overall position is green. But I think,
You're feeling more comfortable right there. That's for sure.
yeah, my cost basis probably is around $21. I don't remember. I have to go in and see. But Giga Cloud GCT. Let's see.
What do they do, Tony?
Yeah, that's what I was going to pull up. And we're not going to do a deep dive on them, but maybe I'll do a video over this week. Giga Cloud Technology is a holding company mainly engaged in the B2B e-commerce business for large parcel merchandise. E-commerce platform, Giga Cloud Marketplace, global furniture markets, home appliances, fitness equipment, and others. So do your own DD, share your thoughts with me in the comments. They are profitable, mediocre from what I'm seeing here. They have a PE of 8. And let's just look. One other thing I'm just going to share with you is the analyst forecast, stock analysis. And this is where the doing your DD really comes into play to see if are these guys smoking crack or might they be correct. I'm not going to be the one to tell you tonight. But we got a analyst forecast. How many analysts covering this thing? 1, 2, 3. 3 analysts with 12-month forecast with an average price target mediocre of $51.
Nice. I like
If
it.
that comes true, and I bought it at 18 or 21 or $25, I should probably be okay. Wouldn't you think, mediocre?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a strong buy. What's the low?
$35.
Yeah, see, that's nice. That's the same thing. ASTS had high numbers like that too.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do a quick video for you guys in the next few days. We'll go through the financials and see if it still makes sense to buy this stock at $23. But yeah, that is a play we're in. Anya, I'm guessing you bought some. You're in the Discord. Do you want to tell us what your I saw you say, hey, Tony, thanks for calling out GCT. What did you get in at, Anya? Because I don't talk about every stock that I buy on YouTube. I talk about them in Discord. Anya, what price did you get? She's up 30%, Anya says. Nice.
I like it.
Very nice. And I bet that's Anya within what, a couple weeks? Maybe even a week. I bet you're up 30%. It's better than being down $3 on GameStop, mediocre. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I understand a couple people are down on GameStop. I'm not. I got out again with another profit.
Yeah, there's definitely people down on GameStop.
Someone mediocre in Twitter from Sweden was mad at me. He said, Tony, Denaro is an AMC sellout just like Matt Kors. Please do not compare me to Matt Kors. That guy talks trash about AMC and Adam Aaron nonstop. I don't know how you could possibly compare me to him.
They just don't like that.
They don't like that I sold after
trade.
the court announcement. Okay, just say that then. You don't like that I sold
You didn't.
and waited for the price to come down and rebought.
You didn't ride your portfolio into
I
the
didn't
depths
ride
of
my
hell, Tony.
portfolio into the dirt. Okay, be mad at me for that, but don't call me Matt Kors, please, because I think that management has they got a tough bag of shit that they're trying to work their way out of, and they're doing what they need to do. And I understand their job, and it's not pleasant if you held through it. But I'm not going to trash the management team. I think they're doing the best they can with what they got.
I think Sean Goodman is doing a fine job, Tony.
Yeah, I think he is. It's up to us. It's up to you to decide if you want to hold through dilution or not. You can't blame management. They clearly communicated it, what they were going to do. Years in advance, they told you what they were going to do. HE mediocre. Hawaii Electric. It's back on our radar, guys. I called it out in Discord and to mediocre also. It's under $10. That's not a buy signal. It's back on the radar to put it on watch. This is a highly speculative play, but we were playing it on this downtrend when it went under 10 back in June. We were accumulating, and then when it hit 761, it skyrocketed to $18. A beautiful trade. I know Anya made out really good on that one. A lot of us made out really good on HE. It's back on the radar. You can see this line I have drawn here. This is a highly speculative trade.
You don't got to start up, buddy.
You could lose all of your money. So I'm just calling out the ticker. Do your own DD. They are involved in lawsuits over the Hawaii fires. And if they lose those lawsuits, it could bankrupt the company. Your money could go to zero. But if they don't lose, there was some positive news about the lawsuit, and it ran from 760 to $18 in a week, in a couple days.
On
news, right? And then people kind of realize, oh, well, the court thing's not really done yet, so it's coming back down. Beautiful. We all got out, and we've been waiting. We've been waiting months, and it's back on the radar. I have not bought any, but the lower it goes, the more I'll be tempted. And I will size my risk, size my position, size my investment according to what I know about the risk, which the risk is you could lose it all. So there you go. It's always weighing the risk to reward probabilities.
Tony, you mean to tell me we use risk versus reward? We
use risk management every fucking day, mediocre. And when you do it right,
you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I know. When you do it right, I mean, I was trading. I was buying HE for weeks and selling cover. I was selling puts, making money, getting the shares, selling covered calls while I was holding, lowering my cost basis, adding more shares as it came down by continuing the wheel. And it was a beautiful thing.
I love
risk
it.
Mitigation using common sense wheel strategy.
I mean,
it's
a very public strategy. I mean, Tony.
I didn't create it, but I made some videos to help.
Yes, you did.
Get you guys exposed to it. But again, if you're not familiar with options trading, don't just start willy-nilly doing it.
Understand options trading before you start.
Come spend some time with us and understand the risks.
Because there's other YouTubers out there who clearly
they just push options and don't ever talk about the risk,
or they don't know anything about options, but they
don't even know about it. Yeah, that's the guy from Sweden. He said I was a sellout because I'm selling puts, not realizing that selling puts is a bullish strategy we use to accumulate the shares.
Absolutely.
Who's making the bearish bet, mediocre? The one that buys the puts.
That's right.
They're betting that it's going to go down.
Absolutely.
As a seller of puts, I'm hoping it doesn't go down because I just get to keep my money.
I'm buying the stock.
If it goes down, I buy the stock. And I just decreased my my cost basis by selling the put. So I call it a bullish strategy.
It
to
is a
make
full
money
strategy.
and then decide at what price you're willing to buy at, the strike price. Anya says she got in GCT at 1830.
Anya's a professional trader.
Man, she beat me. Anya. Anya. Good job, Anya. Good job. My dog's over there scrounging around for scraps. Anya says, I don't see how HE can lose once it hits 8 or 9 settlements paid. Who else will provide electric? I mean, unless they bankrupt the company, Anya, and then relaunch it as a new entity.
Yeah.
That would be my concern. They bankrupt it just to avoid liability of paying out the lawsuit. You know what I mean? Here's our insurance. Here's what the government's going to pay. We're done. This entity is no more suing, no more paying. And oh, by the way, here's Hawaii Electric 2. Fresh out of the gate, all the same assets, all the same operations, all the same people, but free from all legal liability. All right. Y'all got any other tickers? Please don't give us penny stocks. Like we've had some. Oh, Lunar. Let's talk Lunar mediocre because
do
I
that.
exited my Lunar position. That was another one that we were playing last week.
My boy did good.
Which one?
55 cents a share.
Who?
Esteban.
Yeah. We had people that were buying it down here in the 4s, right? Mediocre.
Yeah, we definitely did. Yes.
I did not get in that cheap. I was ignoring Lunar. I wasn't sold on it, but when it started crushing up, as I tend to do when I see momentum, I jumped on $7 and some change. And I did not sell at the top, mediocre. Can you believe it? It ran up to $9.85 for a bit here on 920. And I was thinking it would go over $10. It did not. But we had done the DD on the play. We were still bullish on it. So I held and it started curling back up. I got out at the end of this past week. And I made a little bit over, it's $1 and change a share. I don't remember what I bought in at, 730, 750, 740. So not a huge trade for me, but a profitable one. It's just about racking up positive gains over and over, guys. And we had people that were the early, they were telling us, guys, you need to fucking look at this stock. And they were buying it in the Discord down here.
He was.
Hopefully they sold mediocre. Do you know if they did?
Oh yeah, they're making money. 100% they're making money.
All right. You still believe Lunar has a chance to go higher, right?
I do. I think it can, yeah.
All right. I don't know. I mean, the chart looks pretty good on the daily. Looks pretty strong. We don't hate Lunar. I just wanted to get some cash locked in so I could have opportunities to make up my own mind what to do going into next week, be it AMC, GameStop, Lunar, or some other play that we identify tomorrow.
I'll be looking, tomorrow evening I'll be looking.
Tomorrow is our homework day.
Yes, it is. Anya, I'm not holding JetBlue, no. I don't really hold too long. I make my money and I leave. Whatever it does after that, I hardly even pay attention after that. I'll come back to it when I see it. I didn't even set an alert on it or nothing. So I think they had just diluted because they were having some financial troubles. They wanted to make sure that they had to pad the balance sheet so they could make it to the end of the year. So that's what I remember about JetBlue. But I'd have to do more due diligence on it if I was going to look at it. But with the way Lunar is right now and AMC down where it is, I mean, those are for me. I see a potential there, so that's what I'm looking at.
All right, mediocre. I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight because I got a double feature on movies tomorrow, and I don't want to be super sleepy. You guys got any other last minute questions? Mediocre, you got any other stuff you want to talk about?
No, I was
I
just
think
going to
we
tell you
covered everything.
to
James,
go to brunch with her tomorrow.
what?
I said the wife wants me to go to brunch with her tomorrow.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I might be available for a live stream tomorrow, but excuse me. We'll see how I feel after the movies. And I really want to I've got a lot of other video topics that I want to get out. So we'll see. We'll see how I allocate my time.
You better get to work.
Sparky says in 2030, if AMC is at $5, these bonds will come due at 100. Investors just get money and interest back. Treetop, what's up? He says, ride Tesla calls up, roll them until the train stops. Let's take a look at Tesla. I trade it from time to time. I'm not in it at the moment. You can see my fibs on there. I probably need to redraw these. Let's see if I need to redraw them or not. No, they still look good. I don't know why I didn't buy down here, mediocre. God damn it.
I can't see your chart.
Oh. Hang on.
That's the second time you're not sharing the chart with the chat. You're being stingy tonight with the chart, Tony.
These are the levels that I've been using to try and time my buys on Tesla, and it can be a long wait. For whatever idiotic reason, I didn't buy back here in April. Look at that. I mean, it retraced 78%. That was the perfect time to buy. 144, you'd be up over $120. So now I'm in the long, annoying wait for it to come back down. I've waited before a year to buy Tesla. Sometimes if I'm feeling spunky, I'll dabble in day trading options on it. I haven't felt like that recently.
Yeah, I don't.
I found my accuracy level wasn't meeting my minimum requirements. Some days I'd make a lot of money. Some days I'd lose a lot of money.
I tried to day trade that a couple times. I didn't like it.
Diatog says, take a look at CCI. Q3 earnings are before the market open on Monday. All right, my friend, let's take a look. That ticker sounds familiar. CCI or CCL?
CCI, that was the one they wanted us to look at last week, I think, too.
Crown Castle?
I don't remember.
Please confirm. Communications infrastructure. Towers and fiber. Well, that's a booming segment.
Yeah.
The company is profitable. They've got a forward PE of 43. They pay a dividend. I mean, I can just tell by looking at the key stats, it's probably
a CCL, Carnival Cruises.
Oh, this is going to be a different story. You got me all excited about a potentially good stock.
I know.
I'm scared about this one. Let's see. Oh, wow. They are profitable now. PE ratio trailing 12 months, 28. Forward PE of 15. So I take it analysts are forecasting growth for the company. Free float, 1 billion shares. Let's zoom out on the chart here. Good Lord, this is annoying. Wow, $6. Why didn't we buy? Oh, this was 2022. I lost my faith. I lost my faith in the cruise lines because they were so over leveraged, and I stopped looking at them in 2021.
COVID hurt them too, pretty bad. That's why I stopped looking at them.
Yeah, the COVID hurt them, and then they started levering up on debt to stay liquid, just like AMC, mediocre. And I was like, I already got enough going on with AMC. I don't need to buy another heavily over leveraged company.
Exactly.
But I will take a look at it. I'll scan the financials and the news on it tomorrow on Sunday and see if there's anything interesting here. Sure wish you would have told me about that back in October 2022. I'm just teasing. That's a long time ago. That's on me. That's on me. All right, guys. Mediocre, any closing thoughts?
Nah, just if you wouldn't mind, go and check out my YouTube channel. I put a video out today on AMC.
What is your YouTube channel for everybody who might be new here?
Mediocre Trader on YouTube. With this logo right here. I'll show you. If I can get over here, look at, oh, there it is. Boom. The little monkey.
The little gaming monkey. All right, Mediocre. Go check out Mediocre Trader. Be sure and sub to his channel. If you're not already, he tells me he's going to start putting out some videos, some TA videos. So I appreciate that, Mediocre. I can't do all this by myself. And I put out a GameStop video tonight. I understand it'll be a little bit controversial because I'm looking at what? Not MOAS, not Ryan Cohen worship, just somebody who wants to trade the stock profitably, get a good entry and get a good exit. That's really that simple. So if you're not on board with that, might hurt your feelings, this video, but it's not meant to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just meant to be real talk that nobody in the GameStop community wants to have. And hey, if you're going to call yourself a fundamentalist, you better start talking the fundamentals and do it right, or we're going to keep calling you out because you do it to everybody else.
Yep.
Do it right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Mediocre, thanks for hanging out, amigo.
Thank you, Paisan.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank
Good
you,
night,
guys.
everybody.
Have a good night.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's fast.